Hey, it's Camus Nim. Welcome to the first episode of Theme Song Thursdays, the show where I try to recreate your favorite theme songs. Today we're going to be talking about Hey Beautiful by the Solids, the theme song from the wonderful show How I Met Your Mother. So without further ado, let's dive in. The first step when learning any song should be to listen to it and learn the chords by ear. So that's what we're going to do. I've heard the song a lot, so it shouldn't take me too long, but let's give it a go. So I have the song pulled up here in Logic, and let's just give it a go. Okay, we've got the bass line worked out. Now let's figure out the chords. Alright, so now that we've got the chords, let's just track some guitar. So I have my stereo miking pair set up here. I like to double track my guitars, so we'll have one left, one right at least. Let's give it a go. Alright, cool. So I'm thinking I'll do another set of doubled guitars, except this time instead of accenting the lower notes, I'll accent the higher notes. Hopefully that'll give it more round out sound with all those busy acoustic guitars in the recording. Okay, so I've just tweaked the panning. I have the lower guitars towards the middle and the higher guitars out towards the edges. Not too aggressive. I still want a nice, clear, centered sound, but this gives it a bit of width, a bit of richness. Here's what that sounds like. Alright, so the guitars are sounding good. Next up, I'm thinking maybe we can add some bass, flesh out the bottom end, and then maybe we can move on to some vocals after that. Alright, bass is sounding good. I think next up we can add some vocals. Lots of vocal tracks, so I think I'll just layer a whole bunch. And yeah, we'll add some vocals, and I think it'll do wonders for the song, so that's up next. Okay, I just listened to it again. I lied. There's just two vocals. There's a double vocal on the melody, and that's it. I don't know why I thought there were more. Oops. But yeah, so I'll just sing it twice. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Okay, turns out this song is out of my vocal range, so we tried our best. It's a little squeaky, but hopefully it'll be okay. In a perfect world, we'd change the key. Unfortunately, I'm trying to match to the recording. Not really possible in that regard. For now, we're going to keep it here. I'm going to keep this vocal take, and as always, it can always be fixed in mixing. Wow! So next up, there is a little bell at the very beginning and the very end, so we will find a software instrument in Logic to make that bell sound for us. So we probably want, like, maybe a glockenspiel. Alright, seems like the glockenspiel works. It sounds like there's an A at the beginning and then again at the end. So we'll throw that in there, and hopefully that'll flesh out the arrangement a little bit. Alright, next up, I'm thinking we'll add some drums. It sounds like a pretty straightforward snare every beat with some offbeat kicks. We'll check back in a sec. Alright, so I think I got the drum part pretty close. Unfortunately, I think the hi-hats are a little too clipped in this MIDI thing, so while I probably could find a looser hi-hat sound, I'm just going to try to engineer one. I'm thinking if I throw a gate on the open hi-hat sound, then if I can get the shh to kind of cut off, maybe that'll get a little bit close. Who knows? Let's give it a try. Okay, that sounded better. I think it's a little too clipped, so we'll add some reverb. Hopefully that'll level out the tail and make it a little bit less jarring. Alright, so that didn't work. So, we're gonna go with plan B. I'm gonna try to find a sample of a looser hi-hat to throw in, and hopefully that'll solve our problem. Let's see. Alright, so I couldn't find one online. I think I'm gonna try to take one from one of my older projects. I'm pretty sure I have just like a isolated hi-hat hit that's gonna be a bit looser than the MIDI and hopefully should serve my purposes. So let's go steal that and drop it in. Alright, that worked. That was much better. Okay, cool. So we have our hi-hats nice and loose. So the drums are coming together. It sounded really good. I think the last thing we have to add is piano, and then we should be done. Alright, last up we have some piano. There's some cool arpeggio stuff going on, so I'm going to lay down some piano tracks, and that should be all we need for the song. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, I think I got it. It's kind of hard to make out in the recording, so this I think is probably going to be close enough. I might lay down a second, more sort of chunky piano, but we'll see how it sounds. So yeah, now that we've got the part, let's lay it down, see what it sounds like. That's actually pretty good. Cool. So let's do a chunkier piano. Maybe it'll make it too muddy, but we can always mute it in post. Wow! So let's give that a go. Okay, it sounds really good. I think the only thing I still want to fix is the vocals. They're a little iffy because it's out of my range. The tone of my voice I don't like very much. So we're going to re-record it. My new plan is to take the song and modulate it down, sing it at a lower key so it's a little bit easier for me to sing, and then pitch correct it up. That might not sound very good, but I think it's worth a shot. Hopefully it'll be better than what we have right now. Okay, so what I have here is I have the bass line written out in MIDI so that I can drag it around. So the original is in A major. We're gonna try, maybe we'll try G and see what that sounds like. If I can sing that a little bit better. The less I have to pitch correct it later, the better, because then it won't have too much artificialness to it. So we'll try it here and see how that goes. Not quite. Maybe F sharp. That seems to work okay. We're gonna record with this piano and see what that sounds like. And then we are going to drag it. Alright, so it's a little muffled, but I think that might work. Cool. Sounds pretty good. Let's see if it works in context. So we'll start with the lead vocals muted. Maybe we can add them in. Maybe it'll sound okay, but let's see what that does. So what happens if we combine them? Maybe if we add both of them in. Okay, that's pretty good. I think mixing the higher real vocals with the body of the Melodyne vocals gives us a nice mix. I think we can work with that. So that should be all the recording done. And now we just have to mix. Wow! I don't think the mixing should take very long, but I'll get to mixing and then, yeah, then we can listen to the final product and see how close we got. That is it. It sounds so great. That was my version of Hey Beautiful by The Solids. This is kind of my first attempt at one of these videos. It was a real joy to make, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought, any suggestions. I'd love to hear it. And let me know what song I should do next. What's your favorite theme song? What do you think I should try to recreate next? Leave a comment, let me know. This has been Theme Song Thursdays. I've been Camus Nim. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.